All right, hey everyone. Today we're going to be looking at the mechanics of the upper cervical spine when we need to rotate our head to the right. So this being the back of the spine, turn it over, that would be the front of your neck. So rotating my right, your left, okay? Or it would also be staying in a clockwise direction. All right, so we're not taking into account what the eyes do or the vestibular system or anything else like that today. We're just going over, if someone has enough available range, what is going to be happening in the upper cervical spine right there in a normal, otherwise healthy person. So let's get to it. So as we can see here, upper cervical spine, so this being the occiput or the base of your skull, okay? And then we have our first cervical vertebrae, and you can see how it doesn't really have much of a bump that comes out there. It's pretty flat. We can kind of get our finger in there and on top of the second cervical vertebrae. Now if I were to take the occiput and first cervical vertebrae, we have this thing that kind of pokes out there, and this is where the alar ligaments attach. They come out here and out the other way, and they attach here in the base of the occiput and over here. Okay, so we have two. So we have a right alar ligament and we have a left alar ligament. Okay. So when we go to rotate, I'll keep the bones like this so we have a little more depth as to what's happening. As I go to rotate the head, the occiput only has about 2 to 3 degrees of rotation to go to the right. Boom. Okay? So what'll happen is very quickly, the second cervical vertebrae will start to follow along. Now, this joint right here, the first cervical vertebrae will start to follow along. The first and second vertebrae will have most of our rotation that we have in our neck, which is about 45 degrees or so. We'll play around with that later. Once we get near the end range, the alar ligament on the left side here, okay, coming up that way, okay, is going to get tight as we're rotating to the right, creating a right rotation of the second on third vertebrae. As you can see though, because of the way the joint is shaped, it's not going to be a straight rotation. In fact, it's going to be more of a glide downwards. Okay, so we get right rotation with right side bending. So very quickly, we'll go over when we rotate our head to the right, we'll initially get 2 to 3 degrees of right rotation from the occiput onto the first cervical vertebrae. We'll then get about 45 degrees of rotation of the first and second cervical vertebrae. And then as the left alar ligament becomes tight, it will then pull the second on third cervical vertebrae into right rotation and a coupled right side bending.